Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are brand new here. My name is Samantha. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a comparison review. So I'm going to be looking at one particular palette and seeing if it is similar to two others this time. So I've received a lot of comments recently about one particular palette. Is it similar to two others? So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on that. But of course it is Thursday, and that only means one thing. It is Thank You Thursday. So on a Thursday, I thank one particular person to be in with a chance of a shout out in the future. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, and then send me a comment in the comments down below on that particular video. Obviously the more comments the merrier. I love to receive and read all of your comments. I absolutely love it that you take the time to thank me for what I'm doing, or you comment on perhaps my look, or you comment on the makeup that I'm sharing with you that particular day. So I want to give something back, and that is what I am doing in these Thank You Thursdays. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to one particular person today because they have followed me for some time now, and they always send me some beautiful comments, very supportive, and yeah, I really enjoy receiving these comments. So the person that I want to give a big shout out today is, and their YouTube handle is Sonia. So I would just like to thank you personally for your support, for your lovely comments. I so appreciate them. I really do. It's not very often that I receive horrible comments, but when I do, it makes me appreciate so much more the love that I receive from you. And I receive the love from all of you, which I so appreciate, but especially Sonia today. So obviously I would love it if you shared the love with Sonia today and sent her a lovely message. And like I said, if you would like a shout out yourself, just subscribe, comment, and follow me on Instagram. And also, I would just like to say, because I have started to receive your pictures, you can DM me pictures of the makeup looks that you come up with, whether you would like to copy that particular look. I love it. And like I always say, I want this to be a friendship circle, and not just comments with me, comments to other people that comment, and it has started to happen over the last few months, and I really enjoy that. So yeah, send me your pictures of the makeup that you are doing that particular day, whether you're using the same products that I'm sharing with you, or whether you just want to share the look that you've perhaps copied of me. I absolutely love that you feel inspired by what I'm sharing with you to then go on and copy my look. I love that. Okay, so now on to the products that I want to talk about today. Now, I've used this palette today, and it is the same one that I was sharing with you yesterday, and it is the Revolution Reloaded palette in Visionary. Well, the name of it is called Visionary. It is a purple inspired look, and it's got those mauve tones, it's got that pink tone, it's got the purples, it's got everything in this. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, and I'll link that down below, I think this is an all-round palette. If you just took this away with you wherever you're going, then yeah, you've got your nudes, you've got your mauve tones, you've got a pink, you've got cool tones in here, you've got warm tones, and you've got those purples that are everywhere, it seems, at the moment. So I'll just go through the look that I am wearing today. Now, it's very similar to yesterday's look as in how I've applied it, and I went in with this shade first of all, so I laid down that shade this time, and I thought it was going to be quite sheer, quite light, but actually that is a beautiful first shade to lay down. I then went in with was it this shade? Yeah, this shade next. So that one first, this one next, in the crease, And then I just deepened it up a little bit with this. Now, yesterday I said that I was a little bit disappointed with this shade because it didn't seem as burgundy as it looks in the pan. But actually, when I played back the video, it does look, you know, nearly to what you see there, not quite as deep. But yeah, really enjoyed it so much that I used that again today. And then I thought I'd change it up. Rather than the purple on my lid, I went for the pink, and this is just stunning. So I followed that all around into the inner corner. Yeah, beautiful shade, absolutely stunning. Love that. But the whole palette is absolutely amazing, and to think that these reloaded palettes are only £4. I keep saying it, but it is just fantastic value. When you go into Superdrug or Boots or wherever you shop, whether you're in another country or in the UK. Obviously, I know Superdrug and Boots from the UK, but you look at other brands, and I mean, I've purchased makeup for years, and a lot of the times I've actually been disappointed. The quality is just not there. And to think that you can now pick up a £4 palette, 15 shades, and the quality is just as good as a more expensive palette, you know, that is just phenomenal. So that's really all I'm going to say about this palette today. Apart from I've teamed it up with another Morphe lipstick. It's a liquid lipstick from Morphe, and it's in the shade Unsettled. So this is what I've got on my lips. Looks again a lot lighter in the tube, and then when it dries down, it dries to this beautiful colour. Absolutely loving this look today. I thought I'd just mention that. Now, you have been sending me comments, and in fact I think this is one of the most commented about palettes that you know, I've received comments for, if that makes sense. So I've received a lot of comments recently, and when this palette, the Visionary palette, became available, you were asking me, does it look, or is it comparable to the, first of all, the I Heart Revolution Violet palette? And secondly, so I'll just share with you the I Heart Revolution Violet palette. So this is what that one looks like, and that's what that one looks like. So I hope you are not too blinded by the reflection of the palette in the mirror. So that's what that one looks like, and obviously I'll get into that more in a moment. And then you mentioned a third one. In fact, actually I think there's four, but there's only three that I've got. You know, the three that I've got here that I'm going to share with you today. And the last one that you said, oh, another one that could compare to it, is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. So this is the beautiful packaging for that. And then this is what this one looks like. So when I looked at these, let me just rearrange myself because I've got a lot of things here. So yeah, when I first looked at all of these, they do look very comparable, don't they? I mean, they've all got that purple vibe about them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just share with you the palettes. So first of all, I'm going to share with you the Reloaded palette. The Reloaded palette and the I Heart Revolution chocolate palette side by side. There we go. It's a little bit tricky because of the mirror and the reflective nature of the plastic, but that's what those two look like. So yeah, and my eye is drawn to the middle of this one, and then that pink tone there. So that is what those palettes look like together. And then I'll just get the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette and do exactly the same. And then this is what that looks like. See if I can get that a little bit closer without blinding you with that mirror. So there are the tones of those. And I think when you put them together, they really do look very, very similar, don't they? So the purple tone is there. Now, obviously, they're not going to be spot on dupes, but I think with these 3 particular palettes, you can definitely make similar eye looks to this one. And what I'm going to do now, obviously I wanted to share with you the 2 extra palettes and compare them to the Revolution palette. I didn't want to do a try on just because, you know, I would have to have someone else here and try that on someone else's eye. I think I can get a really good idea from looking at these palettes and doing some swatches as well for you. So first of all, when I look at the chocolate palette, there is no pink in there, so that's missing. So for example, if I wanted to recreate, if I already had this palette, so this I Heart Revolution chocolate palette, didn't want to go for the Reloaded palette, and I wanted to recreate my look that I'm wearing today. So if I put myself in your shoes, I wouldn't be able to do that because this one doesn't have that shimmery pink. So it's missing this one there. Okay, now I'll talk through the I Heart Revolution palette first and then I'll move on to the Huda. Otherwise we're going to get very confused, aren't we? But when I look at, first of all, the mattes, Wine looks very, very similar. It's got that same tone. So Wine is this one here. So that's Wine, that one there. Very mauvey and very, very much similar to the Reloaded palette. And you've got one that's very much similar as in this one here. So that one there. So what I'll do is I'll just swatch those for you. And then Wine. So this is the Reloaded palette. And this is Wine from I Heart Revolution, the purple palette. So you can see that they are near enough spot on there. What I will say is that when I've just swatched them, the chocolate palette felt a little bit different, as in the quality. The Revolution Reloaded palette felt not quite as soft and buttery, but the chocolate palette is £8.99, the Reloaded palette is £4, but the colour is very, very similar. If I wanted to then perhaps choose a lighter tone to start off with, I'm just going to see if there is one that is similar. Actually, I've got another one here. We've got another one, so I'm just going to do that one for you. Swatch that one. Okay, this one in the palette, it's very similar to this one, as in it's got that vibe, but it's got a little bit more grey in it. So that one, and then Expedite from this palette, which is this one here. That one looked very, very similar. And then when I swatched those, again, they look very similar, but actually the quality seems to have turned around. So this is the Reloaded, not Unloaded. This is the Reloaded palette. This is the Chocolate Bar palette. So very much the same vibe there. Then I was thinking that colour that my eye is always drawn to, this beautiful shade in the middle. I'm just going to swatch that. Oh, love this. I put this underneath my eye yesterday. I'm just going to go over that one. Yeah, I put that underneath on my lash line and it was incredible. Now that one looks like that. It doesn't swatch terribly well, so I've had to double it up, but it does work on the eye. And as I always say, swatches don't necessarily work or swatch that well on the arm, but obviously this is just a colour reference. This is just for us to say, you know, yes, you're going to be able to make you know, the same look. So when I look in the chocolate palette, there is two shades. there's this one here, and then there's this one here. So I'm going to start off with this one there, which is Forsaken, and have a look at that one. So that one is Forsaken, and that one is the Reloaded. So it's a little bit more pink toned, and then we've got the Desired, which is that purple tone. So that is Desired. Still, this one's a little bit more pink from the Reloaded palette. So I suppose if you mix those two together, you would be able to get that look. So then I wanted to see if there was a shimmer, and the shimmer that I shared with you yesterday, or one of them I should say, is this beautiful shimmer shade here, which is just phenomenal. So I'm just going to swatch that one. And that's what that one looks like there. Very icy, just stunning. And then I thought that the shade that looks similar to that in the I Heart Revolution palette is this one here, and it's called Amethyst. Whoops, sorry, it's just so difficult because it's so reflective. So I'm just going to swatch that one. And that is what that one looks like. So to be honest, that is a spot on dupe, that one. So Amethyst, that light purple tone, is exactly the same. There is also another purple tone from this palette, which is this one here. And I actually had that on the lid yesterday. Phenomenal. I think I'm going to have to go on this bit now. So that's that one from the Reloaded palette. And then there is one from the chocolate palette called Curfew, that one there. So I'm just going to see if that one. And that's that one, slightly different, that one. So this is the Reloaded, this is, I'm just going to go over that. It really didn't swatch terribly well. And that's that one. That is a duochrome though. Although the first colour is very, very similar to this one. In the light it looks a little bit navy or black. But yeah, and this one's got a shift to it as well, which is more pink. I've got another one. I think it's Valacious. I'm just going to do that one as well. So this one, very, very similar. That one is actually more similar, but there's a pink shift to this one. So I suppose you could get a very, very similar look using these two palettes. So perhaps if you already had the violet chocolate bar, you may not need this, but I think at £4, you know, you can justify purchasing another purple palette perhaps because of that pink tone as well. So yeah, really, really like that. I love the fact that, I mean, there are differences as well. In fact, actually there's another one, Pastime. Let me just swatch this one. I've just spotted another one. I was looking for that light colour, wasn't I? And I think I found it. So the light colour is this one from the Reloaded palette, that one there, and then in the chocolate bar palette it is called Pastime. Just going to double that up. There we go. That is doubled up, but it is near enough spot on. The Reloaded palette is just a little bit deeper. So I would say that definitely the Violet Chocolate Bar palette, if you have that, you can definitely create very, very similar look to what I shared with you yesterday. Not so much today because the Chocolate Bar palette didn't have that pink. So yeah, That was definitely missing. But like I said, for £4, if you've already got the chocolate bar palette, you may want to consider getting this, because, you know, it is just £4. But if you are on a budget and you really don't want to, you know, spend any more money, and you're thinking, do I really need this reloaded palette? Then yes, you can definitely recreate perhaps a look that I shared with you yesterday, like I mentioned. Not so much today. Okay, I'm just actually going to get a wipe and just clean off my hand, just to make sure that I've got no pigments from the other palette on there. Okay, now we're moving on to the Huda Desert Dusk palette. So I'll just do a side by side of those again. Oops, this is more difficult. Okay, so there are the two palettes, and again there's two, well, my eye is drawn to the middle of this one and then to the middle of this one. So let's see if there's any shades in the Huda palette that perhaps work with the Revolution palette. Okay, so first of all, I'm looking for that base shade, and there is one. So I'm just going to swatch the one from Revolution. Now the one from Revolution is this shade here, that one there. And then the one from the Desert Dusk is called Musk. So let's just swatch that one. So Musk is this one here, that one there. And when you swatch them, they look like that. So this is Revolution and that is the Desert Dusk. So very similar, but this is slightly warmer, slightly more warmer. Now we go on to perhaps a transitional shade. Now, I must admit that the Desert Dusk palette is so much more warmer than the Revolution palette, and I'm looking and I can't see, you know, a dupeable shade, you know, like these ones here. All of these in here have that, I don't know, that mauvey tone to them, don't they? That works so beautifully with a purple eyeshadow. I can't see one at all in the Huda Beauty palette at all. They're all very, very red toned, very deep toned, and that one, I think, yeah, Musk, is the only one that I could find, you know, a matte dupe for. Or similar. It's not even a spot on dupe. So we're going to move on to, there's that middle shade. So from Revolution, it's this one here. So I'm going to swatch that one. And then from Huda, the Desert Dusk, it's called Amethyst. So I'll just swatch it and then show you the actual shade. So it's this one here. That one there, that's Amethyst. And then swatched side by side, they look like this. This is Revolution, this is Huda. So very, very similar, but the Huda is a little bit more intense, I would say. But when I actually shared that shade on my eye yesterday, it was just phenomenal. Worked beautifully. Okay, so there is also another one that I want to share with you, and it is the one, this one here. So again, I'm going into that light purple. I'm going to now go on the other arm. So again, it's that light icy purple tone, and I'm just going to clean that off and go into Twilight. Be very, very careful. So that is Twilight. It's a duochrome, so it does look like this tone, but then when you turn it, it's actually got quite a warm undertone to it, quite a warm yeah, undertone, because the reflect actually looks like that shade. So I wouldn't say that Twilight, although it does look very similar to that icy purple shade from the Revolution palette, it's not a dupe. And also I'm just going to do that deeper shade, that one there. I'm just going to see if that one swatches with Retrograde, which is another purple toned eyeshadow. And there's Retrograde. So this is the deeper purple from Revolution, and then this is Retrograde. So definitely not a dupe at all. It actually looks purple in the pan, but when you swatch it, it's more like a red toned brown, and it has got a greeny gold reflect to it. So what I would say is that when you look at these palettes, especially the Huda palette, yes, the Huda palette definitely does have the same kind of vibe as the Revolution palette. You know, your eyes are drawn to that middle tone, and yeah, they do look very similar. But actually finding shades that are, you know, dupeable, not so much. This one, I think, and this one were probably the best, as in they looked very similar. So this is Revolution, this is Desert Dusk, that musk tone, and then we have the two purples, those two shades that in both palettes are nearly in the center, and your eye is drawn to them, and they look near enough spot on. So the purple tone was called Amethyst in the Huda Beauty palette. And then the shimmer shades, definitely not dupes at all. What I would say is that the best dupes came from the Chocolate Bar palette. Very, very similar. But what Revolution does so well, they actually cater for everybody. So whether you're on a, you know, a really tight budget, if you are on a tight budget, you can pick up this one, which is £4, so much more affordable. And then if you are not on so much of a tight budget, then you could pick up this one for £8.99, and there are more colours in here. You've got the red, you've got a deeper purple. In fact, actually no, I was going to say it may work with that burgundy tone, but it's not. It's much more of a purple, isn't it, like a royal purple. But yeah, that is my thoughts. So I suppose if you have this is very similar, but it doesn't have the pink, but Huda Beauty, definitely not a spot on dupe at all. I would love to hear your thoughts, absolutely love to hear your thoughts about that. And I thought, even though I shared with you a look using the Reloaded palette yesterday, I was receiving so many questions about, you know, about these other two palettes, so I thought I would share that with you today. So I would love your feedback on that. What are your thoughts? Also, what are your thoughts on my eye look today? I am loving it. The quality is really there with these Reloaded palettes, and I do have all 8 palettes now on my YouTube channel. I've recently done a series. If this is the first video of mine that you're watching, I've recently done a video using the first 4 all dupeable palettes for expensive palettes. All dupeable. The looks were phenomenal, so do check those out. And I've also shared with you the new 4 as well. One of them I've done as a dupe because and I've forgotten the name of the Reloaded palette, but it was a soft glam dupe. So do check that out as well. I will link yesterday's video down below, and if you are brand new to my channel, please do subscribe to watch further videos. And also what I would like is if you can send me video requests. If you would like me to do a certain video, and if enough people request it, then I will do those videos for you. So do keep the requests coming in, do keep the comments coming in, and obviously congratulations to Sonia. You so deserve it. And yeah, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.